Hello friends, welcome to the Go Online Trainings Azure Data Engineering program. Before we start, I just want to thank you for joining this course. I congratulate each one of you for taking the first step in Azure Data Engineering program. Throughout this program, my aim is to give you high quality training that focuses on real-time use cases, real-time projects. My goal is to provide all of you with the advanced skills and knowledge which are needed to become an outstanding Azure data engineer in the IT industry. And about me, my name is Vikash. I'm associated with Go Online Trainings from few years back, and you can reach out to any of these numbers for further clarifications or further doubts on the course details. About me, my name is Vikas, and I have been working in the IT industry for the past 11 years. During this time, I have gained extensive experience working on different big data engineering projects in various domains like healthcare, banking, retail, supply chain, and many more. I have been fortunate to work with big tech companies like ADP, JDA Software, and L&T. Currently, I'm working at Microsoft as lead Azure data engineer. I'm certified Azure data engineer. So far, I have trained many students, including both IT employees and non-IT employees. In the last batch, one of my students got selected in L&T with a package of 18 lakhs per annum. Few folks from my training batch were also placed in Wipro. In addition to providing training to the external individuals, I also conducted training sessions within internal to the organization. If you learn this Azure Data Engineering program, and if you are a fresher, you can easily expect a 4 to 6 lakhs package. If you have 3 to 4 years of IT experience, you can get easily from 9 lakhs to 15 lakhs package. That is how the present boom for the Azure data engineer. Let me quickly give an overview of the course details. About the instructors, as part of this course, you will have the opportunity to learn from the industry professionals who have more than 10 years of experience and currently working at Microsoft. These course will be covered by the two trainers. I will be training on Azure Fundamentals, Azure Storage, Azure SQL, Azure Data Factory, and Azure Synapse. My colleague, Pawan, who also works at Microsoft, and he also has 10 years of experience. He will mainly focus on Azure Databricks with PySpark, Scala, Spark SQL. With this training, you will gain valuable insights and insider knowledge from us to stay ahead in the game. Then coming to the live sessions. Over the next 2 months, we will be conducting 50 plus live sessions every day, that is Monday to Friday. If you are unable to attend a live sessions, do not worry. You will receive an access to the record session within 2 hours. And the last 10 minutes of each session will be dedicated to clarifying your doubts and answering any queries you may have. Please feel free to ask any questions in the chat window, and my colleague Pavan will be more than happy to assist you. Coming to the practical training, this course will be comprised of 100% practical training and with minimal of theory. This means large majority of our course will involve hands-on practical training rather than just focusing on theoretical or conceptual learning. You will spend significant amount of the time applying the concepts and skills you have learned, which will help you to solve any real world use cases or the projects. This approach definitely allow you to develop your practical skills and you will gain the confidence in using them. Coming to the assignments, we'll give daily assignments throughout these 2 months of the program. This will definitely enhance your expertise and reinforce your learning. Again, the reason for giving this assignment is if you are able to complete these assignments, you can confidently claim an additional 2 years of experience. We will give all the assignments which are related to real-time use cases. So if you are able to complete these assignments, you can easily claim 2 years of experience in the IT industry. To make this session more interactive, we'll also conduct weekly quizzes. It will help you to test your knowledge and track your weekly progress. Then we'll also assist you in preparing your resume. We'll cover most frequently interview questions from the top companies like Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft. This will enhance your chances of landing your dream job as an Azure Data Engineer. Again, I am sure that if after completion of this course, you will gain the confidence to crack interviews on your own. No need to take anybody's help and you will become the best in the industry. So just focus on this training, try to focus on the assignments and clarify your doubts. We are here to help you to get your dream job. Again, I would like to emphasize one point to each one of you clearly that our main focus for training is to give you detailed knowledge on Azure Data Engineer. We'll try our best to make you in a position where you will be able to crack the interviews on your own without taking anyone's help. However, we are not providing any kind of the job assistance or scheduling interviews or the placements. So we just want to emphasize this point. Prerequisites for taking this course. Any candidate who is good at SQL is eligible for taking this course. And if the candidate knows cloud fundamentals, it would be beneficial, but not mandatory. Candidate should have an Azure account. Do not worry, we'll guide you how to create an Azure account during our program. Also, a person must have a computer or laptop with Windows 10 operating system. It should have a minimum of 4 GB RAM and a hard disk or SSD with 250 GB capacity. And it's a basic configuration. We don't need an high configuration machines. The reason is that everything will install all the softwares and everything through the cloud. So we don't have need to have much storage capacity. So any person who is able to understand the SQL and who is able to write simple SQL commands like inserting the data, deleting the data, stored procedures, freeze. So those are able to take this course. Who can take this course? Firstly, for those who are freshers or university students, this course will provide them with necessary solid foundational skills to start a successful career in the IT industry. Secondly, for those who decide to change their tech stack, meaning this course is open for all the individuals who are currently working as an on-premise data engineer, or if they are working as a database developer, if they are working as a data analyst, if they are working as a BI professional, or if they are working as an ETL developer. In fact, anybody who want to switch their career from one technology to Azure engineer, everybody can take this course. So there is no hardened rule for taking this course. Anybody from the freshers to the non-IT and the IT people, anybody can take this course. And this course is not suitable for the people who are not interested in doing hands-on learning approach. This course is not suitable for the people who just want to clear Azure Data Engineering certification. The reason is that as part of this course, we'll cover all practicals. If your aim is only to crack the Azure Data Engineer certification, as part of the certification, you will get all the questions as theory questions. So if your aim is just to clear the Azure Data Engineer, hope this is not the best course. In case if you really need hands-on experience, if you want real-time knowledge with real-time use cases, then it's a good course for you. And also, this course is not for the people who want to become a Python developer or Scala developer, because we are not going to cover Python in a depth, Scala in a depth. Instead, we'll cover the topics of Python or Scala which are needed for the data engineer. So our main aim of this course is to become a data engineer, not the Python engineer or Scala engineer. During this 2 months of our program, we'll cover all below Azure services. Firstly, we'll start with Azure Cloud Fundamentals, where we'll discuss what is cloud computing and how it is different than on-premise, what are different types of cloud providers, why to choose Microsoft Azure, why organizations are moving to the cloud, and what are the advantages of this cloud. Those will be covered as part of the first module, that is Azure Cloud Fundamentals. Then we'll move into the Azure storage services such as Azure Blob Storage and Azure Data Lake Storage. where we're going to cover how to create your storage account, how to manage your storage account, how to secure your data storage in your storage account. And we'll also cover the file shares, what are the Azure tables, what is the life cycle management of the storage account. The third module would be the Azure SQL. Again, this topic covers the basics of an Azure SQL. It includes how it is different than on-premise SQL and what all the advantages we are getting if you choose the Azure SQL. Maybe we'll cover little basics of the Azure SQL. Then we'll go to the Azure Data Factory. People used to call it as an ADF, which is the heart and soul for this Azure Data Engineering. It is a cloud-based data integration service, which is especially used for your data integration and transformation. We'll cover lot aspect of our course. Then we'll slowly move to the Azure Databricks, where we are going to cover basics of Azure Databricks, and it's a collaborative cloud-based platform which is used for data engineers, data scientists, and machine learning. And we'll try to cover in three different languages using PySpark, Scala, Spark SQL. And we'll discuss more on this topic once we start the real-time uh, real classes. Then we'll also talk about the Azure Key Vault, and mostly you will use this Key Vault service across all of the projects in the Azure, which is used to store all your sensitive information like connection strings, usernames, passwords. We'll discuss more on it as part of our course. Then we'll move to the Azure Synapse Analytics, which is a cloud-based analytics service which will bring together of big data and the data warehousing. It includes understanding how to create, manage, analyze large volume of data in the Azure Synapse Analytics. Again, we'll discuss more depth on it uh, during the Synapse sessions. Then we'll also talk about Azure DevOps, like how to integrate your code to your DevOps repository, how to create the branches, how to maintain the source control, and then we'll talk about the CI/CD. Is nothing but continuous integration and continuous development, which is especially useful if you want to move your code from one environment to another environment. Like once you completed your development, you have to move your changes to the QA environment where your testing team will test your changes. And if QA verifies your changes, then we'll move your changes to the production. So to move your changes from one environment to another environment, we required CI/CD. Again, during this course, we'll also cover CI/CD for ADF, Databricks, and everything. Hope you you will be familiar with all these Azure services after this completion of this course. So if you know all these services, you can easily claim that you are an Azure data engineer, and you can claim minimum of 2 to 3 years of experience. Then coming to the actual topic, as we are talking about Azure data engineering, let's try to understand why data engineering. What is this data engineering? What are the roles and responsibilities of data engineer? We'll discuss all these details. I always says that last decade was digitalization. That means we have been transition things from offline to online. The next decade would be completely focusing on data engineering and data science side, as majority of the process already digitalized. For instance, you can now book your gas online, right? You can purchase groceries, clothes, and medicines online. You can pay your phone bills and electricity bills online. And even you can book your flight tickets and restaurants online. Almost everything can be done online now. Interestingly, you all are taking this course online. I'm sure before COVID, this Go online training will be covered as part of the online classroom training. But after the COVID, as everybody is going to the digitalization, as a Go online training as well, we moved to the online. Now we are giving trainings online only because we are also digitalized. We are using the advantages of the digitalization. Now, you might ask one question. Okay, everything is become digitalized. Okay, everything is going from offline to online. But what is the link with this digitalization and data engineering? You might get this question, right? Let me answer. So, due to this digitalization, all things or all applications were developed online, then you will see lot huge amount of data has been generated. So if there is a huge amount of data is generated through this online forum, then we need to manage the data efficiently. Apart from managing your data, we want to go beyond just managing your data. We want to take one more step extra. Let's understand how this digitalization will help Go online trainings. So most of you already familiar with this Go online training insights. Sorry, Go online trainings. It's an institution where they will provide all the technologies, and you will get students from different countries. Like Go online trainings can provide the trainings for the people who are in India, who are in the US, who are in the Canada, who are in the Pakistan. It's spread worldwide. So Go Online Trainings has their website. Okay, in general, if any student comes to the Go Online Trainings, they will fill all their details. Like they will fill the name, they will fill their contact number, they will fill the email ID, and where they are located, and what courses they are looking, what timings they want to take the course. So they will just fill all those details and they will just click on the submit. So once they click on the submit, the data will be stored in the one of the database called SQL Server. Okay, but do you think all the students will reach out to the Go Online trainings through the official website? Probably few of the candidates directly come to the institute and they can inquiry about their interested courses, right? Maybe in the institute, people can maintain all the student information in the form of an Excel where they will maintain all these details. From the website, they are maintaining in the database, but if they come to the institute, they will maintain in the Excel. Or the Go Online trainings might give an advertisements in a social media, like they might give an advertisements in an Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and maybe they will just get the data from REST API. Like maybe they can get the who all are showing interest for the Go Online trainings. They can get that information from the REST API as well, right? If you observe carefully, Go Online Training is an institute, but it has data in different places and in different format. At one place, they're having a data in the form of relational database, in the form of tables, rows and columns. In some places, they have their data in the form of an Excel, and some places they have the data in the form of the JSON. Now, okay, what will happen if they have this data in different formats? What is the problem with this? Assume our Go Online trainings owner, like Bhaskar Jogi, want to get few insights from this data. He want to improve his business. He want to identify certain things, like Bhaskar Jogi wants. What is the number of courses received each month? What is the number of courses inquiries received each month? Meaning, how many people are inquired about the Power BI? How many people are inquired about the Azure Data Engineer? How many people are inquired about the Azure SQL? So you want that information. Based on that, you want to plan a session. For example, if more people are showing interest on the Azure Data Engineering, Bhaskar Jogi want to arrange a session on the Azure Data Engineering. Similarly, he also want how many students have enrolled about this course in total, inquired. How many students are inquired about this Power BI course? How many students are inquired about this Azure Data Engineering course? You want that information. And you also want to understand what are the most convenient timings preferred by the students to take this course. The reason is that as this Go Online training is spreaded worldwide, you will get inquiry from different countries. but we just want to understand what is the convenient timing where we are getting more number of enrollments, inquiries. If you know that information, maybe Bhaskar Jogi can arrange a session during that time slot so that it will improve his business. Again, from which region do we receive the highest number of inquiries? Are we receiving more inquiries from the USA? Are we receiving more inquiries from the UK? Are we receiving more inquiries from the India? If you get that information, maybe Bhaskar Jogi can arrange a session based upon their time zones. For example, if you receive more number of inquiries from the US, Bhaskar Jogi can arrange a Azure Data Engineering session during the US time zone. So you need that information. And also, you want to understand how the student know about this institute. Was it through referrals? If anybody referred the student, or did they came from the social media advertisement, or from an official Go online training website? You want to understand all these things so that you can, for example, as more number of students are coming from the social media, you can spend some research and you can spend some time for his marketing so that you will get more business from the social media. So that is how the Bhaskar Jogi is trying to do as part of with this data. So he want to understand all these metrics to improve his business. Okay. Then you might have the question. Okay. Then who will do this analytics, or who will do this analysis and give this information to Bhaskar Jogi? It's obviously data engineers. Okay. We'll talk about data engineers in a moment. Let's understand the other use case scenario from the Microsoft. Okay. As you all know that Microsoft is a technology based company where they have lot of products already built. For example, an operating system, Windows operating system, or Office 365. They have MS SQL Server. They have MS Power BI. They have an Azure. And now they are recently purchased a new product called OpenAI. So they have so many products within their company. But Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella want few information like which Microsoft products generate the highest revenue. Out of these products, which products generates high revenue? You want to understand from which region does Microsoft receives highest sales? What is the revenue generated by Azure in different geographical locations? Which products are least utilized by the people? If people are not utilizing those products, maybe it's a time for Microsoft to re-innovate something or try to understand the user experience, and they will enhance their product so that people will reuse their products. So you want to understand which products are leastly utilized by the people. As you all know that Microsoft Team has both video call and audio call feature. You just want to understand how many people are really using Microsoft Teams video call feature. If nobody using the video call feature, it's time for Microsoft to give and trainings on the Microsoft Teams video feature so that people will start using that feature. Also, what are the features that customers want to use in the Azure Data Factory? If you know these things, and if you don't have these features, maybe it's a time for to develop that features so that customers will use these features. So even Microsoft needs an insight, just like Go online trading requires insights for their business. Microsoft requires insights for their business. Similarly, I'm sure every company nowadays needs an insight from their data. So if you want to get the insights, you need the data, right? If you get the data, then you will get the insights. Now, let's understand this in a detail. Let's try to solve the Go online trainings use case. As we all know that we are getting the data from different sources for the Go online trainings. One of them is SQL Server. Second one is an Excel. Third one is the from the REST API. So if you receive those data, then somebody has to combine their data into a common place. So who will combine the data? Data engineers will combine data. So data engineers will aggregate the data from the different sources, and they will keep their data in a common place so that you can get the insights from the common place. If you are maintaining data at different places, it is hard to get the insights from the data. So to do that, what data engineers will do, they will create a data pipelines. Let me open WordPad. I will explain. I hope my screen is visible. As a data engineer, you will aggregate the data. As a data engineer, you will aggregate the data from different sources into a common place. Either you will put all your data in a data lake or a data warehouse. For that, they will create data pipelines. What these data pipelines will do? Data pipelines will move your data from one place to another place. Don't worry, to create the data pipelines, what language we need to use, it's not your headache, it's my headache. I will teach you how to create data pipelines and which technology we are going to use. So don't worry. But as a data engineer, you have to create the data pipelines that will move your data from one place to another place. And maybe once you create your data pipelines, you have to monitor your pipelines, whether your pipelines are running successfully or or facing any issues. If data pipelines are failed, as a data engineer, you have to fix those issues. Okay. Then this next roles and responsibility of a data engineer is to migrate to the cloud. If any company want to migrate their applications and data to the cloud, then they need a data engineers, because they need an experienced people to move their data from on premises to the cloud. Again, they require a data engineers. Thirdly, we want to do the analytics logic. They want to build an analytics logic. So what is this analytics logic? So as you all know that we are trying to solve go online training business case where we want to get those insights. So to do that, we need to first get the data. Maybe in the first step, we will get the data in the common place. Then you have to write some logic. You have to write filter, right? From which region we are getting more sales? From which region we are getting more inquiries? From which, what are the best timings people are looking for? Which course is trending right now in the market? So to do that, you have to write your business logic. Who will write that business logic? Again, it's data engineers will write that analytics logic. Once they have done the logic, they will show, they will store the final data either in data lake or data warehouse. So once they apply all business logic, and the final data will be stored either in the data lake or the data warehouse, so that it can be used by your BI team. Maybe your Power BI can use this data, or Tableau can use this data to display the insights for Go online training. I hope now you got an idea what all the data engineers can do. Data engineers will do collect the data and aggregate the data. They will create the data pipelines. They will monitor the data pipelines. In case if they have any issues with the data pipelines, they will fix those issues. And again, they will do the migration from on premises to the cloud. And also, they will build your analytics logic, and they will store the final data either in data lake or the data warehouse, so that your data can be used by either by the Power BI team or your data scientist. Anybody can use the final data. So this is what the roles and responsibility of a data engineer. Again, now we'll talk about which technology we are going to use for which scenario. As a data engineer, you have to create your data pipelines. So for that, we are going to use an ADF called Azure Data Factory. Don't worry, we'll spend enough amount of time to discuss about this ADF. And then they will store into a common place called data lake or data warehouse, where we are going to use, if it is a data lake, then we are going to use Azure Data Lake storage account. People used to call it as an ADLS. We are going to cover about Azure Data Lake storage as well. And if it is a data warehouse, then we are going to cover about Azure Synapse Analytics. Then to write your analytics logic or your business logic, we might use Azure Databricks, where you will write your notebooks in either PySpark, Scala, or Spark SQL. We'll discuss about this Azure Data Bricks in more depth. I hope now you understand what all the technologies we are required to become as an Azure data engineer. You should aware of this Azure data lake storage. You should aware of the Azure Synapse Analytics. You should aware of the Azure Data Factory. You should aware of the Azure Databricks, where you need to understand the PySpark, Scala, and Spark SQL. These all will be covered as part of our course curriculum during the next 2 months will spend enough time to cover on all these topics. I hope now you understand what is the data engineer roles and responsibility. Let's move to the next slide. Sorry. Okay, let's understand. I think most of the students in my previous training, they used to ask me, okay, I'm just hearing different roles. Like I'm hearing data scientist, I'm hearing data analyst, I'm hearing data engineers. Because could you please explain me what's the difference between these three technology and which technology I need to enroll? Which technology is the most popular technology? So students used to ask me these questions. So we'll discuss about what is data scientist will do, what data analyst will do, and what data engineers will do. Again, I'm going to the my word pad. So everybody thinks that data scientist, no, the salaries will be more high for the data scientist. I need to choose the data scientist rather than the data engineers. So we have this myth in most of the students. I can say data scientist would be the next step after the data engineer. And data scientist will primarily focus in on three tasks. One is predicting the data, forecasting the data, and using some, it will build some models using AI and ML algorithms. But if you observe carefully, to do their work, data scientists, they need the data. Data scientists can only work if there is a large amount of data available. Then who will bring that large data? Again, it's a data engineer. Data engineer has to bring the data from different sources, and they need to put that data into a common place. Then only this data scientist can work on their building the models or anything. So data engineers plays a crucial role in supplying the data to the data scientist. If there is no data engineers, data scientists cannot work on their creating the models. While data science may be a buzzword, honestly, the number of projects available for the data scientists is very less compared to the data engineers. In any company, you might see like 1 to 2 data science projects, or you might see like 4 to 5 data scientists, or maybe 5 to 10, but you will see more number of data engineers. The reason is that data scientists can only work once the data engineers supply the data to the data scientist. So you will see more number of projects and resources for data engineers than the data scientist. So again, I'm telling data engineer is very, very crucial role for data scientists. So we need the data engineers. In real world, you will see very less number of projects for the data scientists, but you will see more number of projects for the data engineers. Then you might ask, okay, I understand data engineering is an important. Maybe I can, it's a, there are more number of jobs, but then what about data analyst? I can say this data analyst is nothing but mini data engineer. Data analyst can be called as mini data engineers. Most of the times, they will closely work with the data engineers to create their playground for their analysis purpose. And data analysts will use mostly work on SQL and Power BI. I hope you understand the difference between the data analyst, data scientist, and data engineers. Data engineer is more than data analyst, and data engineer without data engineers, data scientists cannot work. So the data engineering is more demand presently in the market. That's where the market is struggling to find a good data engineer resources. That's how there is a huge, huge demand for this data engineer. Now you understand what is data engineer, why it is important. You understand the roles and responsibilities of the data engineer. But you might have a doubt. Then what is Azure data engineer? What is Azure? You might have this doubt. Okay. Let me clarify. Azure is nothing but a cloud technology. What is cloud? You might thinking. A cloud is nothing but it will provide resources and services on rental basis where you can access those over the internet. Again, don't worry. We'll discuss more about what is cloud, what is on-premise, what is Azure Data Engineer, what all are the advantages which is cloud is giving, why people are migrating to the Azure, why people are migrating to the cloud. We'll discuss all these details maybe as part of the next demo. Hope please try to attend the demo section 2 where we are going to discuss about all these topics. With that, I'm planning to end today's session. Hope you enjoyed the session with me. Please feel free to reach out to the Go Online trainings for further details. Thank you. Thank you, team. I'm just stopping the recording.